What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I had to go ahead and put together a very special, unique build for y'all, in which I'm gonna be calling the Baby Post Score. Now, it's actually going to come out to a back-to-basket guard, which does match the build name. And for this one today, when it comes to our attributes, we'll get a 99 plus put towards our close shot, post control, free throw, and stamina, with a 92 plus speed and acceleration. Now, we'll also get the upgraded dribble animations with a total of 47 badges. Now, this is really one of the most unique builds, especially when it comes towards our attributes. Now, also when it comes to the build name, I think it's really one of the best. As far as for playstyle purposes, this is very unique. Sacrifices are made to maintain the actual build name, but overall, I think this is going to be a very usable build. Now, really in the rack, I think this is where the build is going to shine the most, and you can take it into any starting 5 setting and really find some success with it. Now, the physicals and speed are what's really going to save this build from being an even bigger threat. So look, man, before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So to get started with this one, we're going to put it under the point guard position. Let's move it 2 ticks up to 6'5". As for that weight, you can go ahead and change this or leave it at 203. As for that wingspan, drop it 1 tick down to 6'9". And from here, man, we're all set to move forward with today's build. So the first area that I think is going to be most important to get the most out of our badges first is going to be our physicals. So as for that speed, what you want to go ahead and do is put this all the way up to a 92. Getting into the acceleration, what I think is best is going to be at a 90. Moving into our strength, let's go up to a 70. And then for our vertical, I'm going to go all the way up to an 84. Now for that stamina, make sure you go with a 95, and this is what we're going to be looking like for this side of the ball. Now remember, if you end up activating your takeover, that's at least a plus 10. Wearing gear, that's going to be another anywhere plus 1 to 3. And then look, if you buy your boost, that's another plus 4. Now the better we play throughout each game, 2K will give you a minor boost. Just something to take into consideration. So with that being said, with our Gatorade facility workouts, we're going to have a 99 stamina, 88 vertical, 74 strength, 94 acceleration with a 96 speed. One of the most overpowered builds when it comes to this one overall, especially with a rare build name. Now from here, let's get started with the rest of the build, and the first area that I'm going into is going to be the finishing. So for our close shot, I'm going to move this all the way up to a 99. Getting into the post control, I'm going to go with an 89. And then moving into the rest of this area, go with a driving layup of a 59. Now moving into the driving dunk, we're going to leave this as is. And this is what we're going to be looking like for this build overall on the finishing, especially when it comes to the post control. Now remember, we're going to get some pretty special badges. Look, Fearless Finisher on the Hall of Fame tier. You also get Giant Slayer, Pro Touch with Whistle. Then you get Fast Switch, Hook Specialist, Matcher, and Post Fade Phenom. Now, I do enjoy Gold Dream Shake because that's going to allow you to break ankles, but then we also do get Spot Finder. Now, moving into the driving layup, regardless of your rating, you still get some pretty solid badges. Bronze Aerial Wizard. Now, for the post control, we get Silver Unpluckable, Bronze Back Down Punisher, Gold Dream Shake again with Drop Stepper, and then we're going to be able to get Postman Technician. Now, Hook Specialist is one of the most special badges on this build today, especially pairing this up with Post Fade Phenom. You know I have to go ahead and make sure we throw something towards our shooting. So let's go ahead and get started for that mid-range shot. I'm going to go with a 78. And if you want to, you can go ahead and raise this or even lower it. For that three-pointer, go with a 55. And then for that free throw, I'm going to make sure that you go with a 90. Now look, we get gold free points. You're also going to be able to get badges like Hall of Fame Whistle, Gold Dream Shake is going to apply to that mid-range as well. Then you also get Comeback Kid and Spot Finder. A lot of silver badges, Open Looks, Midi Magician. Then you get Space Creator, Guard Up, Green Machine with Catch and Shoot. Then we get Bronze Blinders and Deadeye. Now I think this is one of the most special builds on the offensive end. Once we get into the playmaking, it's only going to get better, but do remember activating all of the boosts that I previously mentioned, and that really shows you the whole potential of what we can do with today's build. So as far as when it comes towards our playmaking, go with a pass accuracy of a 77. Moving into the ball handle, I decided to go with the same exact thing with a 54 of speed with ball. Now look, as you can see, we get badges like Silver Dimer, Relay Passer, Special Delivery, and Break Starter, which I think is going to be most important. Then you also get Bronze Touch Passer, Needle Threader, getting into the ball handle, handles for days with killer combos, Bronze Triple Strike, and then we also get Silver Physical Handles, Ankle Breaker, and Unpluckable once again. Now for the speed with the ball, a little bit more of the same for this end of the floor. But remember, regardless of how this build looks, once you activate your takeover, that's going to take this build to a whole nother level. Now let's wrap everything up when it comes towards our defensive side. So getting into that interior, I decided to go with a 72. Moving into the perimeter, I'm going to go with an 80. Now, as we get into that steal, make sure you leave this at a 40. 67 when it comes towards our block. Offensive rebound, I think this is going to be best at a 61. With a 69 towards our defensive rebound. Now look, we get badges like Box Out Beast, also Rebound Chaser. A little bit more of the same on this side of the ball, but then you also do get badges for the perimeter end. Clamps, 94 feet. Challenger, Fast Feet with Pick Dodger. Then you get Gold Off-Ball Pass, Silver Workhorse with Ankle Braces. Now for that interior end, I think this is more than enough to be able to guard any position 1 through the 5. Now, I want to know your true thoughts and opinion on this build today. Is there anything that you would possibly do to change or make it a little bit better? Now, we get a total of 47 out of the 77 badges, 8 Hall of Fame, 8 Gold, 15 Silver, with a total of 16 Bronze. Now, remember, you do get the upgraded dribble animations. Pairing that up with this side of the post scoring and the interior for the finishing, I think this is one of the best builds and most unique overall. Now let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made this build correctly. We should be able to get these 3 different comparisons. I like them, Oscar Robertson and D Book. And as y'all can see, together we have created the baby post scorer coming out to the back to basket guard. Now if you added up everything of what I previously mentioned from the boost, I think this is one of the best unique builds that you can possibly make for Season 5 on Next Gen. Now, I do want to say thank you for those of y'all who made it to the very end. God bless you. Also, God bless the Lord. Thank you, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.